Stone soup. Once upon a time, three tired and hungry travelers were walking through the countryside. Their clothes were dusty, their shoes were worn, and their stomachs were rumbling loudly. At last, they came to a little village. Smoke curled from chimneys, and the smell of fresh bread drifted through the air. Surely, the kind villagers would give them something to eat. But when the travelers knocked on doors and asked politely for food, the villagers frowned and shook their heads. "We don't have enough to share," they said. "Go away." What the travelers didn't know was that the villagers actually had plenty vegetables in cellars, bread in cupboards, and chickens in the yard, but each family wanted to keep everything for themselves. The travelers gathered in the town square. "These people don't want to share," one said. "Then we must teach them the joy of sharing," said another with a twinkle in his eye. He held up an ordinary gray stone. "We shall make stone soup." The strange soup, the travelers built a fire in the middle of the square, set a large pot of water on top, and carefully dropped in the stone. The curious villagers peered out of their windows. "Soup from a stone! Impossible!" they whispered. But one by one, they crept closer to watch. The first traveler stirred the pot and said loudly, "Ah, stone soup is delicious. But it would taste even better with a little salt and pepper." A villager thought, "Well, I can spare a pinch," and ran to fetch some. The second traveler tasted the broth. "Very good! But some carrots and potatoes would make it richer." Another villager thought, "I have a few to spare," and added them in. The third traveler nodded. "Excellent! But if only we had a little meat or barley, this soup would be perfect." Soon, more villagers rushed to their homes, returning with onions, cabbage, beans, and even a chicken. A feast for all. The pot bubbled and boiled, filling the square with the most delicious smell anyone had ever known. Finally, the travelers lifted the lid. "The stone soup is ready," they declared. Everyone brought bowls and spoons, and together they feasted. There was more than enough for the whole village, and laughter and chatter filled the square. The villagers looked around in amazement. By sharing just a little, they had created a wonderful meal for everyone. As for the stone, the travelers washed it, slipped it into their bag, and smiled. "Perhaps we'll make stone soup again in the next village," they said. Moral sharing creates abundance. When everyone gives a little, together we can create something wonderful.